After completing the first exercise, now today here we start the next topic, which one is area of sector. So actually what is sector? First of all, if you see, if we consider a circle, suppose if we consider a circle here with center O, and now from this center, if we draw the radius, suppose we consider the radius is R here. Now this one is the center O, and from this center we draw two radius which are here. Now with respect to this radius, if you see the part, this part is known as minor sector actually, and which one simply we represent by sector. This one is known as minor sector. Is it clear? And except this part, if we separate this part, the other part, this part, whatever the part remain here, this one is known as major sector. Major sector. Is it clear? Major sector. So now here, if we consider this circle with center O, and if we draw the radius here, the radius to the boundary like as I draw karo, here that included part a shaded portion to some. This shaded portion is known as, simply we can say sector. Sector means represent a minor sector. If major sector there represent, then we can say yes, it is a major sector. Is it clear? So now this one is minor sector here. Is it clear? So this portion is the minor sector, except this part, the other part is here major sector. Is it clear? Okay, this one is about sectors. Any question here? Okay. Now the next one is area of segment. After we discuss the sector part, now here next one is segment. Again, what we have to do, we have to consider circle. Now suppose if we consider circle here with center, this one is O. In earlier case, when we find out the sector, we draw the radius from the center, is not it? But in case of segment, what you have to do, we have to draw the chord, and the longest chord is passing through center. But here we have to consider a chord. Suppose this chord is here, we consider A, B. And with respect to this chord, now the smaller part is this one, is not it? This one is known as minor segment. This one is known as minor segment here. Is it clear? And the bigger part, it is known as major segment. Minor segment, major segment. Is it clear? So what is the difference between sector and segment? In segment we need chord. With the help of chord, if the smaller part, here you see the shaded portion, if this shaded portion is known as minor segment, and the bigger part is known as major segment. Is it clear? So this one is minor and major. In earlier case, the sector, if we consider the center is this one, O. If we consider the center is this O, so from this O, if we join the radius and if we find out the part, this one is known as sector. So this one is the difference between sector and segment. So in question, if only mention segment or sector, that means we know it is minor segment or minor sector. Is it clear? If we have to find out the major sector, then obviously in the question given mention as a major sector. Otherwise, if simply written sector or segment, that means we know we have to find out minor segment or minor sector. Is it clear? Okay, now after sector and segment, now we have to find out here, we have to check out the formulas. What type of formulas we get for sector as well as segment. So first of all, if you see the formula for sector, suppose we consider a circle with center O. Now here, if this one is the sector for, obviously we have to draw, and now here radius is R. And now if this angle is here, we consider theta. If this one is theta here, angle is theta, we have to find out segment. That means we have to find out this portion. Angle is theta here and radius is we consider here R. So now in this case, what you have to do, area of sector. So area of sector, how can we find out? There is a definite formula here for this. Area of sector equal to, we have to write theta by 360. Why we write theta by 360? Because here complete one revolution equal to how much? 360 degree, and here the angle is this one. Out of this we need only this angle part, so that's why complete revolution, so that's why we have to write theta by 360. Theta by 360 into the area of this circle. We need this sector part, but we know the area of the circle. Area of circle equal to what? Pi r square. So that's why the formula is theta by 360 into pi r square. This one is the formula of area of sector. Is it clear? Okay, now after that area of sector we get. Now next one we have to know the formula of area of segment. So area of segment, for area of segment what you have to do, suppose this one circle, center, and this one is the chord. So directly this segment part we can find out. Area of segment we have to find out. So area of segment, this portion is area of segment. Area of segment. There is no definite formula for to find out the area of segment here. Is it clear? So with the help of sector we have to find out this result. So how can we do this one? Let's see here. If this chord is here AB, is not it? So now how can we find out? So if we join this one and taking the whole part, if the radius is r, if this one is theta, if we consider, then if this whole part is what? Sector. If this whole part is sector, and from this sector if we subtract this OAB triangle part, area of this OAB triangle part, then which portion remain here? This shaded portion remain. কি কৰিম ইয়াত গোটে সেক্টৰটোৰ পৰা কোনটো পাৰ্ট মাইনাস কৰি দিম? এ ট্ৰায়াঙ্গল পাৰ্টটো মাইনাস কৰি দিম, এৰিয়া অফ ট্ৰায়াঙ্গল। এই ট্ৰায়াঙ্গল পাৰ্টটো মাইনাস কৰি দিলে কোনটো পোরশন থাকি যাব? এই সেটেড পোরশনটো থাকি যাব। সো সেগমেন্টৰ ডেফিনিট ডাইরেক্ট ফর্মুলা নাই, তার কারণে আমি এটো মেথড এপ্লাই কৰিব লাগিব। সো দ্যাট মিন্স হোয়াট ইউ হ্যাভ টু রাইট, এরিয়া অফ সেক্টর, area of sector is which one? OA. If you denote some name here, suppose P, OAPB, area of sector OAPB, this one is the sector, and now which part we have to subtract here? Area of triangle OAB minus area of triangle OAB. This one we have to find out, OAB. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, now in this way we can find out the area of segment. So sector very easily we can find out. For segment what you have to do, sector minus area of the triangle we have to do, then we get the segment part. Otherwise we can find out the segment here. Is it clear? Okay, now next one, another one is here. Which one is the length of the arc? So length of the arc means what here? Now let's see. This one, suppose this one is the center O. If you draw the radius here r, and if the angle is theta here, if the angle is theta here, then no doubt this whole part is what? Sector. Now here we need length of the arc. The length of the arc represent this one, A, B. So that means A to B. If you denote some name here P, so that means A, P, B, length of the arc. So straight line, if straight line, then straight line we have to represent here, but here this one is an arc, so that's why we have to represent as like in this way, APB. So this one is the length of the arc, or in short we can represent by AB like in this way. Straight no, all of curve ke dibo laibo because it is a curve. So length of the arc we have to find out. So length of the arc of this sector. There is another formula, length of the arc of this sector we have to find out. So now here the formula is like in this way, the length of an arc of the sector, this one with angle theta and radius r. So length of the arc of this sector, the formula is like in this way, we have to write theta by 360 into 2 pi r. Remember, ইয়াত এরিয়া না লাগে, কি লাগিব? সার্কামফারেন্স তো লাগিব। we need the circumference. So that's why the perimeter. So that's why the perimeter is what? 2 pi r. So that's why we have to write theta by 360 into 2 pi r. Is it clear? Okay, now we start the exercise 12.2, and here the first question is given here. Find the area of a sector of a circle with radius 6 centimeter if the angle of the sector is how much? 60 degree. That means here the angle of the sector is given, and with respect to this the radius is also given. So what we have to find out? We have to find out the sector. Now you see here only mention sector, not minor or major. So if only written sector, that means we have to find out the minor sector. Is it clear? Or otherwise, if we need the major sector, then obviously here mention here as a major sector. If not mentioned, simply we have to find out the minor sector. So in this case, what you have to do? Let's see here. If you see the diagram, so now this one is the center O, and here if this one is the radius. In this case, the angle is given. Angle is given how much? 60 degrees. So that means the angle is 60 degree given, and the radius is given how much? 6 centimeter. Then the radius is given 6 centimeter. If the radius is 6 centimeter and the angle is 60 degree, if the angle is 60 degree, then easily we can find out the area of this sector. So how can we find out? Area of sector equal to what? Area, just I write here area of sector equal to what? If you mention some name here, OA, if you denote this one is P, or if you denote this one is B, area of sector OAPB, the formula is what? Theta by 360, theta by 360 into pi r square, is not it? Now in this case, if you see this question, theta means what here? Theta means 60 degree and r means what? Radius 6 centimeter. So these two are given here. So easily we can put in place of theta 60 degree, and in place of r we can put here 6 centimeter. Is not it? Or if you put this one theta 60 by this one is 360 into pi. Pi means we can write here 22 by 7 into radius. Radius is how much? 6 centimeter. So that's why we have to write here 6 into 6. Is it clear? So very easily we can solve this one. So 0 is cancelled, 6 36, so this one cancel. So if you multiply this 22 with 6, 132 by 7, I think this one centimeter square. So easily we can find out the area of this sector like in this way. Is it clear? Very simple questions. So here this one is very simple question here, just the radius and the angle given. So easily we can find out the area of the sector from here. Is it clear? Okay. Now if you see the next question, question number 2, and the question number 2 is given, find the area of a quadrant. Now in the second case, we have to find out the area of a quadrant. So first of all, we have to know the basic concept about the quadrant. Actually, what is quadrant? First of all, so now in case of quadrant, what we get here in question number 2, question not written here. If you see the question from your book, the second question is given, find the area of a quadrant of a circle whose circumference is 22 centimeter. So first of all, we need a quadrant. So that's why here suppose this one is the circle here, if we consider, and now here these are the axes. So x axis here, x this, and this one is y, and here we write this one is y this. So now here these four are the quadrant here. So we have to find out the area of a quadrant. That means this circle here, any one part we have to find out. Suppose we choose this part. So find the area of a quadrant. That means only one part. We have to find out the area of this portion. Is it clear? Now we have to find out the area of this portion here, suppose. So if we denote this one is O, and if you represent this one by A, or if you represent this one by B. Now first of all, to find out the area of this portion, from this figure, if you see this shaded portion is, we can mention as a sector also. This shaded portion we can represent as a sector also from this part. So now in this case, if you see circle, quadrant, 4 parts are there, this one we can represent as a sector also. So easily we can apply here the sector formula. For sector formula, what we need? We need the angle as well as we need the radius. So here angle, already we know, if it is a quadrant, then this angle is how much? Obviously 90 degree, is not it? So that means this angle is here 90 degree. Is it clear? So this angle easily we get here, this angle is 90 degree. So theta equal to 90 degree we get. Now our main task is what? We have to find out the radius. So radius not given, but in case of radius, circumference given. Circumference given. So circumference. So if you see here circumference equals to 2 pi r. The circumference formula is not 2 pi r. So the circumference given to you, and the circumference is given how much? 22. So that's why we can write here 2 pi r. Is not it? So in place of circumference 22 centimeters square, whatever given here, yes, 20 circumference is given 22 centimeters. So circumference, in place of circumference, the circumference formula is 2 pi r. So that's why if we consider the radius is r, so that's why 22. If you calculate from here, easily we can get the value of r from here, is not it? So if you calculate, this one is 11 times, so this one you have to write 11 by pi, is not it? So pi value if you put here, then you get the value of this result. So you just keep like in this way, or you can put the value of pi here also. So in this way we get the value of radius. So easily we can find out the sector formula now. So if you find out the area here, area equal to theta by 360. So if we write this one is theta by 360 into pi r square. So pi r square, so theta is how much? 90. So that's why we have to write 90 by 360 into this one we write pi. R means what? Already we find out r means 11 by pi. So that's why we have to write 11 by pi into 11 by pi, is not it? So 1 pi we can cancel, and the next pi value 22 by 7 you have to put here, and if you calculate, then from here easily we can find out the area of this quadrant part. Is it clear? I think all of you understood this one. Is it clear? Okay. So in this way easily we can find out the third question also. If you see the third question here, so in case of the third question, the minute hand. So the question is given, the length of the minute hand of a clock is 14 centimeter. So one more thing here, in case of question number 3, suppose we consider a clock here. Now this one is clock, and in this clock, this one is we consider as a center. Now here, this one is known as, we consider as a minute hand, suppose. And this minute hand is given here 14 centimeter. And this minute hand is here mentioned as a 14 centimeter. And after that, find the area swept by 5 minute hand in 5 minutes. So if this one is the minute hand, here we represent after 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, if suppose it placed here, suppose starting at here and placed at this place after 5 minutes. Starting from here, this one is the starting, suppose, or anywhere you can place, but we represent here at this place starting, and after 5 minutes, to place minute hand 5 minutes after 5 minutes it placed here. So the length of the minute hand already mentioned. This one is how much? 14. That means this one we can represent by r, radius, is not it? So now we have to find out the area of this person. Swept korar pisot jitu area olabo tar area to uliabo lage. So for this area, so obviously this one is what? A sector. So for sector, what we need? We need this angle theta. So how can we find out this theta now here? After 5 minutes. After 5 minutes it swept here. Now what is the angle here? So in this case what you have to do, if you see the complete revolution here, the complete angle is how much? 360 degree. That complete angle is 360 degree. Isn't it? So if you see the words, jodi ghori to jodi soa tumi 12, 1, 2, 3. Isn't it? That means if you see here, how many parts are there? 1 part, 2 part, 3 part. So that means each quadrant 3 parts are there. Another 3 here, 6. Another 3 here, 9. Another 3 here. Total, how many parts are there? 12 parts are there. এটা ক্লকত যদি তুমি যদি চোৱা 12 পৰা 1 লৈকে 1 পাৰ্ট 12 পৰা 1 পৰা 2 লৈকে সেকেন্ড পাৰ্ট 3 লৈকে তিনটা পাৰ্ট তেনেকে ইয়াত আকৌ 4 5 6 তিনটা পাৰ্ট তেনেকে ইয়াত তিনটা পাৰ্ট ইয়াত তেনেকে তিনটা পাৰ্ট টোটাল কিমানটা পাৰ্ট থাকে 12 parts are there in 5 minutes so that means 12 parts যদি total complete revolution to hoy 360 degree and this 360 degree separate into how many parts total 12 parts 12 part separate hoyas is not it so eta part duta part tinta teneke kori pela 5 minutes eto 5 minutes count nokore so that means how many parts are there 12 parts are there total is 360 so one part of kiman hobo 360 by 12 so that means what will remain here 30 so that means in one part 30 degree 30 30 30 30 30 this is total 360 so that means one part is 30 degrees so that means easily we can identify here because here the solution already given to you so that's why just here the description mentioned so in place of theta what you have to write we have to write this one is 30 degree in place of theta we have to write 30 degree here because after 5 minutes it moves 30 degree so angle we get radius we get so easily we can find out the area here area how can we find out theta by 360 into pi r square so we can find out the area so if you put the value of theta here and if you put the value of r here so from here easily you can find out the value of we can find out the area of this portion isn't it so in this way we can solve this question number 3 also very simple questions so the question number 4 so we have to stop here today so in our next class we continue from question number 4 or if any questions are there you can ask me I think all of you understood now this one more properly more clearly isn't it so in our next class we start from question number 4 okay thank you